I'm back. Um, Good morning, Patriots. Might be good afternoon by the time I get this video loaded. If you're just tuning in, my name is Bill Bailey. I'm your host here at Sons of Liberty 1773. This is indeed where freedom loving patriots meet. I've been enjoying a 2 week vacation, compliments of YouTube. Apparently, I said something that got their panties in a bunch after the last choosing that we had. So be it. So missed you guys. I like doing videos. Great time for me to relax, even though I'm always dealing with the chaos of the world. I did on my 2 week vacation. Renee said, "Hey, this Game of Thrones is supposed to be good because we just rented HBO Max for the winter, so we'd have some new programming to watch." And I guess the series was on a while ago, but I sat through all 8 seasons of Game of Thrones, and it was really good. I mean, they were really well done. I enjoyed it. The ending was a little different than I hoped, but I want to just discuss my take on that, and hence the banner here on this, in the image of Washington in ruin, in the fall of an empire. We are a nation in decline, folks. And just to share my thoughts with you on this, if you haven't watched Game of Thrones either, I recommend it. It was really, really good. They spent like $5 million, years ago, an episode making that, each of the episodes. I think at the last season they were spending like 8 or 10 million an episode. So the CG and everything is really well done. The script is phenomenal. There is a lot of gratuitous sex and violence and nasty language. So if you're against all that, probably isn't for you. It's for a mature audience. Boy, there's so much news. I mean, I'm not even going to cover a tenth of what's going on in the world. I'll just hit on the main points. Our world is in complete chaos right now. Just here in the last couple of days, we've had riots in Belgium, the Netherlands, Germany, protest in China. We'll get into that. Protest in Iran, protest in Brazil, riots in Kazakhstan. And then, of course, we have war going on in Syria, Iraq, and the big one brewing still, which is going to lead into World War III in Ukraine. Sad times we're living in, but normal times as far as humanity goes. So before I get into some empires that are the rise and fall of empires since the beginning of time, I want to give a call out to my friend Dan Short. Many of you have watched his show on, if you're a gearhead like me, on Motor Trend TV, FantomWorks, a great restoration shop in Norfolk, Virginia. I heard they call it derogatory comment. But anyways, in Norfolk, Virginia, big naval base, nuclear power plant there. But he does phenomenal restoration work. It's one of my favorite restoration shows. Ended up by chance finding a car for that he needed for a customer, Dan Short, and him and his wife Melissa came and spent the night here. Drove up with a motorhome with a trailer behind it to get a shell of a '57 Corvette. I found him, and so we've remained really good friends. He's totally a patriot. He was in the military. Not only is he an Apache helicopter pilot, he's a Green Beret. His wife is a naval. Melissa was previous in her military life was a naval commander, and they run an incredible shop. So the reason I want to mention FantomWorks, and that's their site. I said, Dan, you really need to start building your because he's on Facebook a lot. Your YouTube channel. You make $100,000 a year, and someone as famous as him with YouTube ads, and he had like 5,600 subscribers. That was a week ago. I told him that he's up to 15,800, but he's a celebrity personality. He should easily be able to build his channel to 1 million followers. But the big reason I want to talk about this, and you go and watch his latest videos, by the way, he went FantomWorks off grid now. They've jumped Dan doesn't do anything half-assed. He's jumped full tilt into prepping and survival foods and stuff, and he's started a business, Easy Homesteading. I'll show you his website. But he builds, they're getting in now. They have a new film crew. So FantomWorks, the show, will be coming back. I think a little different than the first one. They're building EMP-proof vehicles. Just let me show you his store now. And they're adding about 50 products a month. But he just bought 100,000 cases of freeze-dried food. And you can really get a deal on them. Let me show you here. So this is his website. EZ, don't spell EAZY, just letter E, letter Z, homesteading. EZHomesteading.com. And this is Dan Short. This is the new business venture. And I'm telling you, folks, he's got some great products and some great prices on the freeze-dried food. I do not have a discount code or anything like that. Prices are good as they are. They've just started this website, so please deal with them as they work out some kinks and stuff. But they've got a ton of stuff worthy of your time checking out. Easy Homesteading. Dan, when he showed up here, I first met him and his wife. I don't know, a couple years ago. I said, my wife and I are preppers, and he goes, we're preppers on steroids. He said, and he's went off grid solar. They've got milk goats, chickens. Like me, I've got 3 freezers full of food. Dan buys a walk-in freezer, a used one from a restaurant that went under. So he's really taken it to the next level. I was going to have a talk with him someday and say, Dan, Norfolk, naval base, you're not in a good spot if the crap really hits the fan in the world. I don't know where he's going to bug out to. I have to talk to him. Told him and his wife could come here. Bring your preps, bring a semi-trailer full of that food. But if you go to, go to FantomWorks and watch like their last 3 or 4 videos and look at how deep he has already, dove into this whole prepping business. It's going to rival, in my opinion, it will rival My Patriot Supply and some of the other big ones. Because that's just, Dan is a workaholic. I don't think the guy sleeps. And I will tell you just real quick story. It was night when they showed up, so he's got this beautiful Class A motorhome with a car trailer behind it. And they've never been here, right? They're going to park for the night and plug into my gas station. And he pulls in with this massive motorhome with a trailer down, missed my driveway. My neighbor's got like this little single driveway, single lane, and he's pulled all the way in there. And I thought, there's ditches, and in our road we live on is just a narrow blacktop country road. I thought there ain't no way, he's going to have to unhook the trailer and figure out how to turn that thing around. But, the guy's a pilot. And so, he backs that thing out, with the trailer and just one try, backs straight out into the road. I could have never did that. I think Melissa might have been guiding them, but who knows? So we're moving on to that. But go check out FantomWorks on YouTube. I believe it's all just one word, isn't it? Isn't that the way it's spelled? Just FantomWorks. See it right there. And then Easy Homesteading. And I think you will thank me for giving you that referral. I will leave the link in here. So right here, I'm just going to scan through these, okay, folks, really quick. 3 pages. Monarchies, kingdoms, and empires, okay? These are lists of empires that have come and gone in world history. That's just starting the A's. There's the B's, the C's, the D's, the French Empire. We're into the F's. And you can see this goes on and on and on and on and on, right? Then this is, what are these? Kingdoms. This is a list of kingdoms that have come and gone in world. No, these are monarchies. I take that back. Ancient Egypt. It starts with the Bronze Age, the Middle Ages, and then we get to the Iron Age, Antiquity, the Middle Ages, and on and on. These are powerful empires, kingdoms that have come and gone. And then what's this one? That was kingdom. These are monarchies. So it goes through all these. So my point is as I'm watching the final episode of Game of Thrones, and if any of you that were a big fan of this series watched it, at the end, what is it? The Queen of Dragons he stabbed her in the heart. She was going to be the ruler of the seven kingdoms. And then the girl of the north said, no, we're going to keep this one separate. So now they had to find someone to rule over the 6 remaining kingdoms. So there's like 6 of them there, These are the top people, how would I want to say it? Heirs of the previous kingdoms, who's going to rule, who are we going to make the ruler of these 6 kingdoms? And this one guy, kind of the heavier member of the cast, I can't think of his name, they're all going through naming names, and he goes, well, I think we should let the people pick out who rules over them. And you know what they did? They all laughed at him. That's funny. And then they made their pick, which was the kid that had fallen and was in the wheelchair to be their king over rule over the six kingdoms. But and that was true, that's how they did it back then. They never wanted people to have the power to choose their rulers and be in charge of their own being and have their individual rights and freedoms. All that come from government. They didn't believe in God-given rights. And so what happened is you've seen those lists through the ages, kingdoms come and go. And I really did like this series because it's like every time there was a ruler, there was a next, that was powerful. Someone wants to come and knock them down, and they do. And then another one, another kingdom rises out of the ashes, and so on and so on throughout history. And why would America be any different, folks? We are, if you've seen the way Trump has been ending his rallies now, the music gets a little dystopian and dark. They start talking about, he starts talking about we're a nation in decline and all the reasons we are. Well, he's right. We all see it, right? I know the people that follow this channel do. I really like that Game of Thrones, though. I had no idea I would be into, like medieval ages type series, but it was good. And everything that's happening then now is happening again, They say history doesn't repeat itself, it's echoes. Well, I actually think it repeats itself. The debauchery, the torture of people back then, nothing's changed. And if you don't think so, remember those images of, was it ISIS and the Christians in cages and all that demented, remember all that, stuff? I got to be careful what I say now on this channel because who knows what'll set them off. But we are definitely a nation in decline right now. Have we reached our zenith in America? I hope not. But I can tell you right now, it's just not looking good. It's so corrupt, folks. Every level, judicial system, all of our governments, all the ABCs. Once it's this broken and gone, I'm not sure we can fix it. I am one, I've said this many times, even if we're, living in the end times, which we very well may be, and we know that, the world is going to fall into absolute chaos. That doesn't mean we don't fight the good fight, and that's kind of my mindset. I'm just going to keep fighting the good fight until my last breath, and then we'll just, I'll be dead, I guess, right? Moving on to the next realm. Where am I here? Oh, and before I forget, Canada just passed Trudeau and the communists to the north, complete almost absolute gun control. All semi-automatic weapons now are going to be banned. It's going to pass. I've been watching Canadian Prepper on this, and thank God we've got the Bill of Rights, right? Freedom of speech, First Amendment, Second Amendment, even though they're under attack, we still have them, and we still have the right to defend them. So that's that. So let me, I'm going to kind of blast through these. If you didn't know, a big Mauna Loa, I probably messing that name up, a huge volcano on Hawaii, on the island of Hawaii, has erupted, first time in 35 years. We'll have to keep an eye on that. This is nice. Zombie virus reanimated after 50,000 years in Siberia. Permafrost. What they're finding is the snow melts or the permafrost. They're finding these diseases that have been frozen and kept from humanity, in this case, 50,000 years. And of course, we go poking our nose where we shouldn't put it. And French researchers have reanimated over a dozen prehistoric viruses, probably what killed the dinosaurs, which have been trapped deep within the Siberian permafrost for nearly, I take that back, 50 million years. That makes more sense to me. So whether it's 50 million or 50,000, they've got both in here. It doesn't matter. They're reanimating them, and I'm going to check them out and see what they do. It doesn't seem like that's a good idea to me. So after obtaining 7 ancient permafrost samples, scientists from the French National Center for Scientific Research were able to document 13 never-before-seen viruses that had been lying dormant in the ice. Well, maybe they'll take the COVID and see if they can build a real hell of a mutant off of them. Who knows? Now here it says, the same researchers found a 30,000-year-old virus in 2014, which was trapped in the permafrost. So you can read that's over at Zero Hedge if you want to read it, folks. But doesn't sound like a good thing to me. China is having massive protests, much like they're heading for Tiananmen Square. The Chinese police are beating up Western journalists, dragging them away. They're trying to tamp down the story. There really is no big breakout of COVID over there, yet they're going out of their way to lock people down and fence in areas. And what sparked the latest violence is they actually welded shut the doors, this is communist China, to an apartment complex that caught on fire. And not only could the fire department not get through the gates to enter the community quick enough, by the time they got there, the doors were welded shut because they didn't want the COVID patients out in the mixing with the masses, and so they burned to death. And the Chinese have had enough. I mean, they are really rebelling. The problem is, folks, they don't have 2A over there. They don't have Second Amendment rights. They're not an armed nation, which, the reason for the Second Amendment is to protect ourselves against a tyrannical government, even our own if need be. I want to share this with you really quick. I don't think I have the sound on. Hopefully I got it muted. This is internment camps, COVID internment camps. If you want to know maybe the closest definition I can give you, this is a place to lock people down. These are highways in China where they built these camps on the roads to start shoving people in them, which is weird because the COVID thing right now is kind of waning as it gets weaker, as it mutates. So maybe there's something else coming that we don't know about, but watch this. So those are miles and miles of internment camps for anybody that gets sick with the virus. So that's kind of spooky, actually. Just something here. I picked up this headline. You can read it over at Zero Hedge if you want. Size of British Army to hit 200-year low. Think of that. Lowest, weakest British military in 2 centuries. Only sufficient to Stay at home and tootle around, warns Secretary of Defense over there. Our military is also unable to recruit half of the new recruits they need because no one wants to go in the woke military. 1.8 million chickens slaughtered in Nebraska as bird flu pecks away at food supply. That's at Zero Hedge as well. This is why we're always prepared, folks. People, stuff like this. Plane crashes into high voltage power line, leaving 120,000 without power in Maryland. The IRS, wants to get every dime of money that we have. And the IRS warns Americans to report annual PayPal, Venmo, which I think is PayPal, a subsidiary of PayPal, transactions that exceed 600 per year. And if you're not doing it, don't think the woke PayPal or Venmo won't turn in your stuff to the IRS anyways. RV boom over. Monthly shipments plunge as dealerships overflow with campers. Another sign that we're going into economic woes. Credit card debt in the U.S. hits all-time high of $930 billion. I believe it's exceeded $1 trillion now. The economy looks well, folks. It's a facade. People are charge carding their expenses to live. And that's debt. They're going to reach their debt limits, and it's all going to crash. Their hurt is coming, and I hope you're taking this time to pay stuff off, stock up on food, get rid of monthly payments that you don't need, and get ready for the storm, because it's a-coming. I promise you that. Real quick, Elon Musk blast claims that reinstating banned Twitter accounts put lives at risk. This is from the radical left. The only thing it puts at risk is the lies that they've been spreading in their propaganda. God forbid the truth is allowed to be told on Twitter. Satellite imagery shows extensive destruction of Ukraine power grid since Commander Armageddon for Russia they've moved him from Turkey to Ukraine. The first thing he did was start bombing the hell out of all their infrastructure as they go into winter. Strategically, it's a smart thing to do. It's a sin against humanity, but when you're at war, no one cares about human rights. Just the way it is. U.S. nuclear reactors among the oldest in the world. Folks, you want to destroy a nation, destroy its energy, which is what this administration is doing. A rich, strong nation has an abundance of energy and resources, which we do, but you have to tap them and use the knowledge that we have. We should have been building ultra-modern new nuclear reactors, especially as the hydro systems out west go dry. We're in a serious drought, folks. We don't need to get into the argument whether it's man-made or not. Cataclysmic droughts have been going on since the beginning of time. They're really nothing new, but this drought looks like it's really bad, and they're going to have serious problems out west because they don't have the desalination plants that are going to be needed, built, and as these hydroelectric systems fail, Lake Mead is going dry. The Mississippi's drying up. The crops are failing. It's terrible, and they have no plan B, unfortunately. Biden economy, 41% of small businesses can't pay rent this month. This is all bad. This is all, these are the warning signs of what is coming, and it's bad. The economy is going to fail. This administration is leading us into the greatest depression and possibly World War III. 4 more things here I'll share real quick. Abraham Lincoln statue vandalized with colonizer and land back in Chicago during Thanksgiving weekend. So the idiot left, they've been indoctrinated into communism. America's bad, founding fathers evil. They don't know anything about our true history. Literally, Abraham Lincoln, the man that freed Black Americans, right? Freed the slaves, gave us the Reconstruction Amendments, the 13th Amendment to abolish slavery, the 14th Amendment, which gave citizens citizenship to all people born in the United States, and the 15th Amendment, which gave Black Americans the right to vote. They go and trash a Lincoln statue because they're brain dead morons. Shoppers spent this over at Gateway Pundit, shoppers spent a record $9.12 billion online on Black Friday amid growing inflation. Well, there was probably more money spent for less product. So they put the number out there, record $9.12 billion, which is actually a bad thing when you factor in inflation, which means there was less, when you look at dollar for dollar, there was most likely less money spent. Guaranteed, they got less goods than they bought 2 years ago. No surprise here, just 28% of voters want Biden to run in 2024, according to new poll. And then, look at we're under siege by the CCP, this country, and to be honest, this is no surprise to me. People, are they really concerned in Washington when they're in bed with the communists? Everybody is very concerned. DC on edge as Chinese-made drones are detected in restricted airspace. And then lastly, if you want to do some research, there's a lot of videos on YouTube. Lakes Mead and Powell are at the epicenter of the biggest Western drought in history. And it's really bad, folks. I mean, it's going to be cataclysmic. I'm just thinking here, we're looking really good in the Midwest now to people being, we're sitting on one of the largest bodies of fresh water in the world. And I think that as people flee that area for rising energy cost and lack of water and resources, that you're going to see the Midwest really boom. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. So I've got to go preview a home, folks. So I got to get out of here. But if you haven't subscribed to this channel and you like the content, please hit the subscribe. It always helps when you give the video a thumbs up. Comment down below and share these on your social media. As always, Patriots, keep the faith, keep moving forward. We never surrender, we never retreat. And God bless you all.